This is chapter 17, where we're going to look at the structure of different hormones. And the first picture I'd like to show you is your periodic table. And this is a periodic table of different elements that are found in our universe. And they all differ, these elements differ based on their atomic number, which is the number of protons, but they also can differ based on their electrons and neutrons as well too. But this is how they are organized. And a lot of them are made up in our human body as well too. And if you remember back from chapter 22, or excuse me, chapter 2, you can remember how we start out with the basic unit, a structure, and which is your atoms. And all these different elements I just showed you combine to make different kinds of atoms. And these atoms actually make up molecules. And when you combine molecules together, they make up cells. And when you combine cells together, they make up tissues. And when you combine tissues together to perform a specific function, they make up your organs. And when you have two or more organs come together for a specific function, they'll make systems, and eventually systems will make the human body. But you can see here, this is the hierarchy of how we actually make a human body, as you remember back from chapter 2 in Bio 210. But the key thing I want to point out to you is that when you look at knowing the chemistry, it really is important to understand that, because then you'll understand the physiology that happens within the human body. So we're going to embrace chemistry today. Hopefully you all will like it. I'm not sure if you embraced it or not back in, Bio 10, but we're going to really love it now for learning the physiology of your different systems in the body. So looking at the three different types of hormones that we have steroids, we have proteins, and we have biogenic amines, three different categories, and they're all structurally different. And when they're structurally different, that really dictates how our hormones travel throughout our body as well. So it's kind of very important to understand what the differences are between these three different categories. Now, looking at your textbook, you can see this figure here, and I want you to refer to it as we're going along. We can see here the three different types of hormones, your steroids, your proteins, and your biogenic amines. And you can see, just look at the pictures of the three different hormones, they look very, very different. And that's going to be very important, because that actually helps determine how they move throughout our body as well. So let's focus on the steroid hormones first. And so please refer to your textbook as we go through this. So when you're looking at your steroids, the key thing I want to show you about steroids is that they're always going to be like our raw materials. They're made and synthesized from cholesterol as a basic component. And cholesterol will evolve depending on the structure, will change, and it will make different hormones. So these some examples of these different steroid type hormones are estrogen or progesterone or testosterone or even aldosterone and cortisol. Those are all examples of different types of steroid type hormones. And they are always going to be lipid soluble. And what I mean by being lipid soluble is that they can blend really well with other lipids or fats. Now, it doesn't mean that they can mix with water. They really prefer to blend with fats. So that's going to be very important to understand that they're lipid soluble, meaning how are they going to transport in blood if they're not blending with water very well? If you ever mixed water with oil, you can always tell they never mix. They always form two layers. Well, that's the same thing here. These lipid-soluble hormones won't be able to mix with water very well. So that's going to really tell us something about how they're going to travel through the bloodstream. And we'll talk about more about that later. But just right now, I want you to know that they are lipid-soluble molecules, meaning they only mix really well with other lipids. Okay, so let's look at the structure of the different types of steroids. And here, I don't really want you to focus so much on the chemistry, but I do want you to know that when you look at steroids, look at all the different types here I have listed here. You have testosterone, you have progesterone, cortisol, and so on, are all different types of steroids, which are, again, lipid soluble. And the key distinguishing feature that you can look at these hormones, they all have a four-ring structure. Now, looking at all those four rings, each side of each ring, when it comes to a point, that's what we refer to as a carbon. So I'll try to point to a carbon here. So here's a carbon, even though you don't see a C showing for carbon. Here's another carbon. Every point on the ring is a carbon structure. So I refer to that as a four-carbon ring structure. And what's attached to these carbon rings are like things such as oxygen right here. Or you can see OH stands for hydroxide. So you can see different things are attached to these four carbon rings. And if you notice, testosterone has 4 carbon rings, and when you look at progesterone on the other side, it has 4 carbon rings. But look what's attached to them is what makes them different. So you can see here the attachments to the 4 carbon rings, whether it's an oxygen or hydroxide, makes this steroid different. So they all are structurally very much the same, having a 4 carbon ring structure, just what's attached to it makes them different. And again, keep in mind, your steroids are lipid-soluble hormones. So let's talk about proteins. Now, proteins are probably the most hormones are found in this category. So this is the most common type of hormone you're going to find is made up of proteins. And the key distinguishing feature here with these proteins is that they are going to be water soluble, meaning they do mix with water very well. So that means that they're probably going to mix with your bloodstream really well too. So that's a good thing. And so this is where we have a good distinguishing feature different than your lipid soluble hormones of the steroids. Now, when you're looking at proteins, and if you remember what proteins are made up of, they are made up of nothing but amino acids. Amino acids make up these actual proteins, and we actually have about 20 different amino acids in our body, and when you combine them in different ways, we make different proteins. And here's a good picture showing you a string of these amino acids. It looks like a string of pearls, but each pearl, so to speak, or each round structure makes amino acids. And so when you string those amino acids together, we make these actual proteins. So some examples of proteins are things such as your antidiuretic hormone, your parathyroid hormone is another example, oxytocin, glucagon, growth hormone, insulin, erythropoietin. Those are all examples of proteins which are water soluble, the more common type of hormone. Next, we're going to talk about biogenic amines. And another name for biogenic amines is monoamines. Mono means one. So when you look at these biogenic amines, they are really just referring to one amino acid. So you can see here this one amino acid has 1 carbon ring structure with some, elements attached like this hydroxide, which is OH, or methyl group, which is CH2, and so on. So you have a lot of different type of atoms attached to this 1 carbon ring structure. So again, monoamines, biogenic amines is the same thing, meaning 1 ring structure. And when you look at this, and when you think about biogenic amines, some examples of this are things such as adrenaline or epinephrine and norepinephrine. Even your thyroid hormone and your melatonin are all examples of biogenic amines. And they are also water soluble, very much like your protein hormones. So they can actually blend into the water and blend into the bloodstream really, really well here. Now, there's one exception to this rule that I want you to know, which is we have one type of hormone called the thyroid hormone that is really made up of a pair of monoamines or a pair of biogenic amines, or I should say 2 amino acids. That's the only exception is that thyroid hormone. But all other hormones that I have listed here is made up of 1 amino acid. So let's show you a picture of this and show you the different amino acids here. And you can see here, here's an example, dopamine, norepinephrine, and epinephrine. They have this 1 carbon ring structure, and how they differ is based on what's attached to them, as you can see here. But again, the key thing to remember with biogenic amines is that they are also water soluble along with the protein hormone.